What's up everybody, it's Matt from Peter Glenn, and in this video we're going to show you just a few of our favorite park boards for the 23-24 season. Let's check this out. All right, first up, we've got the Burton Good Company. This has become a crowd favorite very, very fast in the Burton lineup. It's actually a very easy riding, fun board, which is kind of crazy because it actually does have a triaxial fiberglass, which usually feels a little snappier and livelier. But the cool thing is that actually how they've laid this thing up, it feels nice and easy and smooth, but it has the spring and pop of a traditional triax board. Another thing that's really, really cool in combination with that is they're actually doing a centered base on this thing too. And at this price point, those are two things that you usually don't see. But good traditional cambered, no BS park board. All right, next up we have the Ride Twinpig. Really cool thing about this thing is that even though it is a little bit more park focused, it actually does have some all mountain capabilities. It is an asymmetrical board, so you actually are going to have a specific right foot and left foot. They're basically giving you that deeper side cut on your heel side edge, so it's a little bit easier to lay in a carve. They're doing a mixed glass in this thing, one layer of biax, one layer of triax, so you get all the smoothness of the biax, all the spring and pop of the triax. And then a couple of features that are pretty cool is they're doing their slim wall, which is basically a very, very thin urethane sidewall that actually offers durability, offers vibration dampening, and it actually helps make the board a little bit quicker edge to edge, which I can attest to. I've ridden this thing, and looking down at it, since it is a volume shift board where it's shorter, stiffer, and a little bit wider, it actually doesn't feel as wide as it looks underneath your feet. It actually is very, very quick edge to edge. But then actually going back to that volume shift, you're gonna wanna downsize about 3 to 6 centimeters. So let's say you ride usually a 56, well, on this board, you'd wanna get the 51. Again, downsize 3 to 6 centimeters. Another thing that's really, really cool about this board is it has their cleave edge. So it's basically an edge that's a little bit bigger and beefier than your standard edge. So if you are hitting those rails and boxes, not only do you have that urethane in the sidewall giving you that extra durability, but you just have a little bit bigger edge that's gonna be more durable in the long run. And then next up is the Nidecker Sensor. And this is a pretty rad park board, especially for the price. There is a lot going on inside this. Obviously, we've got a fully twin tip board. It is a camber to rocker profile, so you get all the snappiness and liveliness of the camber, but you get that nice, easy, catch-free feel up in the nose and tail. It's got a little bit more of a medium soft flex to it. So obviously we got that traditional soft flex of a park board, but it's not super, super soft. So if this is something you want to take outside of the park, it is going to hold its own. And another thing that's going to aid in that is also their Biax Plus fiberglass. So it is still a biaxial fiberglass where you've got fiberglass going in 2 directions, but it just has more of it. And then on top of that, we also have their pop carbon, which is their carbon strips that are running completely from nose to tail. So this basically allows them to have a board that is a little bit softer, but it has the kick, the pop, the stability, and the edge hold of a board that is a little bit stiffer. And then also up in the nose and tail, we've got that side kick where you've got that 3-dimensional shaping where basically it's kind of lifting up the edges, and you can kind of see a little crease along there, but it lifts up the edges through your contact points. We're making it even more catch-free, which obviously on your landings and when you're buttering around is a must-have. And as if that wasn't enough, they've actually added a centered base to this thing, but it has some carbon in it too, so it's even faster than your traditional centered base. Okay, and last up, we have the Never Summer Proto Slinger. This board is amazing. I've actually ridden this thing outside of the park, and it's insane how well this thing carves and actually lays in on some faster turns. Now, that's basically in part with their patented rocker camber design, so it's rocker in between your feet, camber up towards the nose and tail. And they also have what they call the Vario Grip side cut, where basically the side cut itself is actually 2 different side cuts in a flat area. So it's actually flat in between your bindings, and then has a light side cut, and then it goes into a deeper side cut. But the cool thing is companies have actually been blending those side cuts for the long, long time, taking different radiuses and blending them all together. But Never Summer actually realized if they don't blend them together, when you actually put this thing on edge and dig in, it accentuates those points and actually gives you grabbing points along the edge of the board, giving you a side cut that's a little bit more aggressive, but when you get into your carve, it locks and you get those extra points that the harder you carve, the more those points dig into the snow. So on those harder, icier conditions, you can actually lay down an edge and really, really dig in. But aside from that, it is a little bit softer, easier feeling board up in the nose and tail. So really, really easy butters. But with the fiberglass inside this thing, their pre-tension fiberglass, tons of spring, tons of pop, and a lot of stability. When you land on this thing, and if you're a little heavy on the front or heavy on the back, this board's not gonna wanna wash out from underneath you. The fiberglass with that extra camber in the nose and tail is gonna wanna set you back down, so you're not gonna go out the front or slip out the back on your landings. And then as always, they have their P-Tech sidewalls, which are super, super durable, and they don't actually change with the temperature. The colder it gets, this sidewall actually doesn't stiffen up, so it actually doesn't mess with the flex of your board, and it just makes the board incredibly durable. I don't think Never Summer has ever had a blown out sidewall in their history. All right, so obviously that's just a few of our favorite park boards for the 23-24 season. If we showed all of them to you, this video would be 20 minutes long. But if you got any questions about these boards or any of the park boards that we have at peterglenn.com, definitely leave some comments down below. We're on there every single day trying to answer your questions. We want to make sure we can get you into some rad gear, but most importantly, we want to make sure it's actually going to fit you and it's going to fit your riding style. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, and definitely get that notification bell on too so you can find out when all the new videos drop, and grab yourself a new park board and get out and ride, because any day of riding is a good day of riding.